Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here to present you my NBA morning shoot around for Thursday, October 24th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NFL, NBA, and MLB videos. And if you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for our DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey man, good night in NBA. That's back-to-back nights of winning, starting the season off 2-0. NFL 7-0 through 7 weeks. And we've been on absolute fire over here at dfscheatsheet.com, man. If you haven't, come and joined our membership and checked out what we got going, you're missing out. You still could take advantage of our yearly special. Use promo code NFL 2019. You get half off of our yearly package, making it $175. You get all the NBA, the rest of NFL. You'll get MLB when it comes back up. Hey man, we got everything. Check out the site for sure. And so we got a small 3-game slate today. I think it's going to be a pretty cool little slate. There's 2 games that I think will be some competitive ones. Atlanta and Detroit will be a competitive game, but Detroit is going to be on the second end of a back-to-back. I do want to mention that. So we'll start with that game. So we got Atlanta, first game of the season. You got Detroit. They play tonight. I think it's going to be a fun one. Atlanta has a bunch of really good young guys that I expect to come out, ball out, and they're going to be an exciting team to kind of watch throughout this season. I don't know if they're in playoff contention. The East is kind of weak, so they possibly can be there. Detroit on the flip side, they're missing Blake Griffin. But hey, tonight they did win. They beat the Indiana Pacers. Drummond had a monster game. In that game, went off. He had 32 points, 23 rebounds. I think that you could definitely go back to that. Well, there's nobody for Atlanta that I feel is really gonna, trying to kind of push Drummond. They possibly could throw Lynn at him, but Lynn's a guy that he could probably just get in foul trouble. So of everybody in this game, I think Drummond's honestly the guy that I'm going to be looking at. But we'll start at the point guard position. Trey Burke, he is questionable. Game time decision with the back. I fully expect him to play. He didn't practice. It was just due to a sore back. I think he's going to be in there for the season opener. I think he's a guy that you're definitely going to look at point guard on this small slate. Reggie Jackson, on the flip side, tonight, he only played 20 minutes and he didn't have a very productive outing. 5 points, 5 assists, and a rebound. He's going to bounce back. He's a much better player than that. Tonight was an off night, and the fact that he didn't play very much today he could possibly be ready to go for tomorrow. At the shooting guard spot, Derrick Rose, who's a guy I played on DraftKings, and he had a really, really good game, and he took over some minutes. Took some of Reggie Jackson's minutes. So I think that you can go back to the ball. They're going to look for Derrick Rose, especially with Blake Griffin out, to score the ball. Played 26 minutes, got you 18, 2, and 9. Between Derrick Rose, Reggie Jackson, I definitely would rather play Derrick Rose. But I don't want to chase that. And like I said, I do think that Reggie Jackson is a much better player, and he's going to get his. On the Atlanta side of things, at the shooting guard spot, Kevin Huerter, he was a guy that we played last year. He's a guy I got to see him. I want to see him in that starting lineup. If he's going to be in the starting role, I think that you can look at him. Otherwise, I'm not really going to go there. Outside of that, Bruce Brown, he's a guy. You can look at. He got 28 minutes today. He's a guy that does a little bit of everything. At a sub 4,000 price, he possibly could be a value play if he continues to be in that starting spot. Small forward spot here in this game. Markieff Morris, he started today. He ended up playing, what did he play? He played 22 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. 5,000 is a decent price for him. I think that you can look at him. I like this Detroit team. The more I look at it, a lot of these guys did play a little bit lower minutes. The coach really went in the bench today. Kennard, he was a guy that absolutely went bonkers tonight. Played 28 minutes, got you 30 fantasy points. 28 minutes, got you 30 real-life points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 36 fantasy points. He's not a guy that's going to score 30 points a night. I guarantee you that. But at a 4,800 price tag, if he's going to play a bunch of minutes, I think that you can look at him on tomorrow's slate. Cameron Reddish, he's a guy. He's going to be their shooting guard. He's going to have the green light at 4,400. I like him, man. I think that he's a guy that could definitely give you some upside. I do want to kind of wait and see him play a little bit. I think him and Hoyer are gonna kind of share those minutes at the small forward / shooting guard position. But GPP, I think you can definitely throw him in a couple lineups. I'm at the power forward spot. We know that Blake Griffin is out. John Collins is game time decision with the illness. I expect him to play tomorrow, and this is actually a pretty good spot for Collins. I think that he can have a monster game here. I mean, who's going to guard him, especially if they're trying to play small ball with Kennard. I definitely think that you can look at a guy like John Collins. If John Collins was out, I think that you can look at a guy like Jabari Parker, who's going to slide in, who will slide into that starting role if Collins was to be out. If Jabari Parker's coming off the bench, I think later in the year he may get a little bit uptick of minutes, but first day of the season, coming off the bench, I don't really know what to expect from him with the new team. So I would kind of want to take a wait and see approach, but 4,500 is still a really good price for Jabari Parker. Moving on to center, the guy I talked about in the very beginning of the video, when I started breaking this down, Andre Drummond had a monster game. He was one of the guys that played a ton of minutes today. He had 40 minutes, 32, 23, 2, 4, 3. I mean, you can't expect him to have a game like this tomorrow. Definitely can't. But fresh, second game of the season on the second game of back-to-back. I think he'll be all right. It's early in the year, like I said, and then he's going to get a matchup with Alex Len. Alex Len could be a tough defender. Don't get me wrong. But he's a guy that definitely gets in foul trouble, and I think the Drummond's a really good play. Moving on to one of the best games on the slate. I don't know which one to call the better game of the two, but we'll start with this one first. You got Milwaukee going into Houston to face the Rockets with the new look, Russell Westbrook there. Russell Westbrook, man, he struggled. He definitely struggled in the preseason. Had a ton of turnovers. His fingers messed up right now. I definitely expect him to play, but I think his shot's going to be off a little bit if his fingers kind of continue to hurt. 10,000 though for Russell Westbrook, I definitely think is a very fair price tag for him. I just really want to wait and see how this kind of works out because it wasn't the best in the preseason, but definitely one of the best players on the slate. You got to consider him. Eric Bledsoe, he is he's expected to play tomorrow with the rib injury. I think that he'll definitely be out there. 7,000. Bledsoe's a guy that he does a little bit of everything, fills up the stat sheet. If he's healthy, he's going to play around 30 minutes. I think that you can look at him. Moving on to the shooting guard spot, James Harden. I mean, it's easy to say, play James Harden. He's a guy probably going to be pretty high owned tomorrow. It's going to basically be either do you want James Harden or do you want Giannis? James Harden, on the other hand, compared to Russell Westbrook, he actually had a really good preseason. And I think that between him and Westbrook, that Westbrook is going to be the one that's going to have to take the back seat. Harden's going to continue to get his. And I like him tomorrow, 11.4 going against Milwaukee in the home opener. Chris Middleton, All-Star last year, second best player on this Bucks team. 7,600. I wish the price tag was a little bit lower. But Middleton's a GPP play. He's a guy that's going to give you a solid floor, scores a basket, does a little bit of everything. I like him right there. Outside of that, I mean, you got a guy like Wesley Matthews. I don't know if he's going to get that shooting guard, starting shooting guard spot. That's what it looks like, though. It looks like that's what's going to happen. And at 3,900, I think that you can look at Wesley Matthews as a pretty good value play. What they'll do is they'll slide Middleton over to the small forward spot, start Matthews. Like I said, I think that he's a decent GPP play at 3,900. Get you some value. Giannis, 12.2. Do you want Giannis? Do you want Harden on this slate? That's really what it's going to come down to. Tough decision, tough spot. I think personally I'm probably going to go with Harden, save the money a little bit, and Giannis is probably going to get guarded by PJ Tucker. It's going to be a tough matchup. Definitely think that Antetokounmpo could have a really good game, but it's not my most favorable spot to kind of play him here. Eric Gordon, I'm curious if he's going to start, if he's going to come off the bench or not to start the season. If Gordon is going to be in the lineup, he's going to be a starter at 4,900. And he's going to start along Westbrook and Harden. I think he's going to get a ton of wide open shots and I like him a lot more if he's going to be in that starting lineup. Moving on to the power forward spot, PJ Tucker. Like I said, I think he's a guy, as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble, he's a guy that will guard Giannis a lot. They're going to need him on the floor to kind of help kind of contain Antetokounmpo a little bit. Ilyasova, he's a guy that, we got to see if he starts, if he comes off the bench, what they decide to do with the lineup. I want to see kind of what kind of minutes he gets before I really, want to take a kind of a approach with him. But he's a guy that we have looked at in the past. At the center spot, you got Clint Capella, 8,400. He really emerged last year, had a really good season, all-star season. 8,400, he's a guy that fills up the stat sheet. I like him. The only thing that scares me a little bit about him is, he's going to be going against, you got both of the Lopez brothers, especially when he's guarding Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez, he likes to step out on the perimeter and shoot some threes, and it's taking Capella away from the basket and ultimately taking some blocks away, maybe a couple of rebounds. When Robin Lopez is in there, he's gonna bang with Clint Capella. I like Clint Capella against Robin Lopez. Against Brook Lopez, bringing him out, it makes it a little bit more tough, and I don't like him as much. But on a small slate, he definitely is one of the top centers. Moving on to the final game, man, we got the Clippers, who just dominated the Lakers, going into Golden State to face the new look Warriors. Steph Curry, 10.3. If they're going to have any success this season, it's going to have to be because Steph Curry has a monster season. It's a tough matchup, though, tonight. Going against Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is going to be all up on Steph Curry, all up in his grill. It's a little bit scary. I don't know if tonight's the night I really want to go with Steph Curry. I don't know if he's going to really be able to get 55, basically what you need for value against Patrick Beverley. But GPPs, definitely you want to get some exposure to him. I think the pay-up spot, though, is Giannis or Harden in that previous game we just mentioned. Patrick Beverley, I like him. 5,000. He's a guy, he only got you 2 points last game, but got you 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and a block. He's usually going to score you around 8 points. And, 24 fantasy points for only scoring 2 actual real-life points isn't too bad on this price tag. I think you can go to that well. And I like Patrick Beverley a lot. I think that he's a good play mid-tier-wise. D'Angelo Russell, him and Curry are going to have to be the guys. He's going to have a big-time part in scoring, for the Warriors if they're going to have any success. 8,000. Man, the Clippers they're a really good defensive team. And so these Warriors are not really jumping out to me. But, D'Angelo Russell, we just seen what Danny Green did at that shooting guard spot. No, I'm sorry. They had Danny Green actually at small forward. A little bit of shooting guard as well. I think D'Angelo Russell is in play, but he's a GPP. Lou Williams, he's a guy, he's going to get 30 minutes. Even though he comes off the bench, people don't like to play guys off the bench. He's a guy I love playing off the bench. He's usually under-owned. He still plays starter minutes. As you see, played 36 minutes last game and got you 39 fantasy points. Price tag barely moved. I like Lou Williams a lot. He's one of my favorite mid-tier plays on this slate. Small forward, Kawhi Leonard. It's easy. 9,800. You want to pay for Curry. You want to pay for Leonard. I'll definitely play for Leonard. He played 31 minutes last game, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and 2 steals. I do want to mention he only scored 4 points in the first quarter as well. So Leonard, man, I think that if you're going to pay for anybody in this game, you pay up for Leonard, giving you that solid floor. A couple guys that we can also throw in there. Maurice Harkless. He got in foul trouble, but he still played close to 30 minutes, which was a positive sign for him. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 steals. He's not going to get you these kind of defensive stats regularly, but the fact that he's showing you the upside there, I think if he's going to play close to 30 minutes, even 25 minutes off the bench, he's a viable option. Definitely at least just to kind of get you some value. Power forward spot. Draymond, they're going to need this guy to facilitate the ball. They're going to need a lot from Draymond this season. And they're going to need triple-doubles night in and night out. 8,000, I think he's going to give you a solid floor. I don't know if I really want to pay 8,000 for Draymond. But if the Warriors are going to have any chance, it's going to be D'Angelo Russell. It's going to be Draymond doing the dirty work. And it's going to be Curry, going crazy from behind the arc. Draymond, he is in play. GPP for me, though. JaMychal Green, I played him the other day. he got in foul trouble a little bit, so Harkless got a little bit more minutes in him. But I think that him and Harkless are basically going to get right about 25 minutes off the bench each. I think that you can still play him, GPP play, especially if this game blows out. Which it possibly could. The Clippers looked really good, and if they get all over the Warriors, we'll see these bench guys get a little bit extra run as well. Another guy. I mean, you could. I don't know. See the Warriors. I got to see their rotation before I really want to start going to their bench guys. Another guy, like I said, I was going to bring up is Spellman. He's a guy that for Atlanta last year, he's pretty decent. He can give us some solid fantasy production, but I don't know how much minutes he's going to play, so I'm not really going to roll with that too much. The center spot, finishing it off in this game, Montrezl Harrell. Great game the other day. He's a guy just like Lou Williams. Comes off the bench, but he still plays 36, 38 minutes. You can't worry about that with Harrell and Williams. They're going to get there. 7,000 is a very good price tag for him. I think that he's in a really good spot here against the Warriors in an up-tempo game. So I like Harrell a lot on this slate. I think he's a really, really good center option. I mean, outside of that, I'm not really too interested in some of these other guys. I mean, Looney at 6,400 for a guy that could barely score the ball. No, thank you. I mean, I think that Harrell is definitely the best center, in this particular game. So that's really where I'm at, man. I just kind of went game by game, broke down the positions. I think it's going to be a fun slate. I definitely think if you're going to pay up, it's going to be for Harden or it's going to be Giannis in that game, and you kind of just fill it out. There's some solid value plays that are going to be out there. Also, make sure that you pay attention to lineups. There's past couple of days, I got a little bit messed up. It didn't hurt me. Still ended up cashing out. But there's a couple guys that I expected to be in the starting lineup that were projected in there that just weren't in there. There's nothing you can really do about that. With NBA, it's tough. You got to really pay attention to the news. But hey, man, that's all I really got for you guys. Good luck on your guys' contest tomorrow. Make sure and check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. We've been on fire. NFL, NBA, MLB was a really good season. Man, right now is the time to join. Check it out. And hey, good luck on your guys' contest, all right? Peace out.